Hi there, my name is Randy Fay. I'm the maintainer of the ddev project. ddev is a local development environment, mostly for web developers. And what we're going to do today is look at a brand new feature of ddev 1.19 because we now have officially supported additional service configurations for ddev. They're carefully curated and have automated tests and have a maintainer. We've always had trouble with that with additional services, and now we have a much better solution. So the first thing, I'm going to do two things today. The first is I'm just going to demonstrate how it works. So that'll take just like 5 minutes. So stick with us for those 5 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to wander off into the blue, and we are going to create one of these, which is very, very easy. That won't take very, very long. We'll just go through the process of doing it. And I hope you'll stick with us for that part. But the first part is so easy. We're just going to go through what we see here on the manual page here about additional services. So we're going to use ddev-get --list. And we're going to look at what's currently there and how you would install it. So that's all we're going to do. And then we'll go through this process of seeing how you create an additional service in the second part. So let's get going with the first part. I'm just going to pull up a terminal here. Here I'm in a regular, just ordinary project. And this project, I can describe it. It doesn't have anything extra added onto it. It just has the web and DB and Mailhog, the things that you usually expect to see there. But if I go ddev-get --list, that will show me the available official add-ons that we have. As of the recording today, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So Memcached, Beanstalk, the Drupal 9 Solar recipe, Elasticsearch, and Redis. And so I can also do a ddev-get --list --all. And that actually is going to show up a new one that is growing as we speak, is maturing as we speak, that is not official, but it probably will be in the future, the adminer plugin. So that one also is available. Okay, so all we have to do is ddev-get one of these. So if I take a look at the list again, and I want to get the Redis one, I'm just going to do a ddev-get ddev-redis. And it actually is grabbing exactly what we need from the repository. Here's the repository. It's grabbing what we need from that, and it's actually installed it. So if we take a look, if I do an ls and .ddev directory, it has installed the docker compose.redis.yaml. And this one actually has done a couple of other things as well along the way. So I have it. Now it's a good idea to take a look at the project website. So here's the project's README. It explains what we just did and what we're about to do, which is the ddev restart. And it says how it works and how you use it with port 6379. And thank you to Hussein Webb for contributing this, and for the original recipe by Gormus. Wonderful things. But now you see this has got a nightly build against both the Edge and stable and head versions of ddev, and it's maintained. So it's not like the ddev contrib, which was kind of casual maintenance. Okay, so we have. Let's go back to our terminal here. We're going to do a ddev restart now, and we will have the Redis available now. Okay, so now let's do a ddev describe here. And you see now we have Redis available to us. And so Redis, if we go to the Redis service inside the container, if we go into the web container, we can ping the Redis container, and we could telnet to the Redis container on 6379, and it would connect. Well, it wouldn't connect, but it doesn't connect if you don't spell it right. There it is. I don't know how to talk Redis. So it's installed, and we won't go through the rest, but the instructions of how you would connect up a client to it are on the project webpage. So that's it. We just did, that's all we did was we did a get. We just did a ddev-get, and we did a ddev restart, and we have Redis running. And it has installed the docker compose.redis.yaml that we want, and it is currently running on our system. So that is the scoop. So now what we want to do, so this is the second part, and let me just go back and make sure that made sense there. The manual page is here in additional services in the ddev docs. If you do a ddev-get --list, you'll see the official add-ons, which are growing as we speak. And there are links to them here. And then if you do a ddev-get on one of these, it will install it for you. And then you do a ddev restart. So that's the first part. And if you don't want to see how to make one yourself, then you can go now. But if you do, stick with us for a little while. It won't take very long, but we're going to actually do one real live that I haven't actually looked at. Well, I previewed it, but we're going to actually do it right now and turn it from ddev contrib into a ddev-get service. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to go over to ddev contrib. ddev contrib is the casually maintained place where services have been taken care of for ddev for a few years now. But they've just had casual maintenance, and not everybody was paying attention to every issue on here. But here's the services that have been on here over time. And what we're going to do is take the Redis commander. We're going to take the Redis commander service, and we're going to take that and convert it into a ddev-get service. And we'll just do that. We'll just work our way through that process right now. So we're going to go out here to where the instructions are. Of course, there's some instructions in the manual, but the link really is to the add-on template. So here's the add-on template. The add-on template is also maintained. It has boilerplate for the tests. It has boilerplate for the README, and it has a Docker Compose example and an install.yaml, which is the base of what we're going to do. So we're just going to work our way through this. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to use ddev redis commander as the name. So I'm going to go click the use this template button, and I am going to put this in DRUD, and we're going to call ddev redis commander. Okay, and we'll just create a repository using that. And there it is. Now we can go about going down the list of the things that we need to do with that. We have the README. Let's see. We got the good name. We made the thing. Now we have to change add-on template with the name of the add-on. So I'm just going to go ahead and check this out. I'm going to grab okay, we'll grab the URL, and then we'll check that out. And let me get an editor for that. Okay, so at the very beginning, we need to change add-on template to Redis Commander. So we will do a replace of everything. And we'll just replace everything and it'll probably work out. And we are going to need to do some updates to the README. Get rid of some of these things, and we're going to be copying into this from the original stuff. So we'll get rid of most of this, and we'll work on that later, and we'll put in the other README stuff later. I know that you know how to edit a README file, so we'll come back to that a little later. And we don't need this add-on template file because we're going to use the one from ddev-contrib. So I'll just delete that one. And let's go and get the one from ddev-contrib. Okay, and the Redis Commander recipe in ddev-contrib is here. We will just go ahead and copy this and put it in here. And just a review of what it's doing. It looks like we don't have to change anything at all. You see, it's going to talk to the Redis service, which would be installed with ddev-get drud ddev-redis. So we'll do that. Now let's take a look at the instructions that we have here. I guess we deleted all the instructions. Let's go to the let's go to what we have here. We've added basically all the file. The only file that we need right here is the docker compose.redis commander, and then we're going to update the install.yaml. And I'll show you how that works. So let's take a look at that. So this install.yaml is a very simple thing. And we're going to give it a name, Redis Commander. And we don't have to fill in all of these things. In this one, we don't have any pre-install actions. So we don't really have to do anything there. But you could do pre-install actions before you set it up, like if a volume needed to be added or deleted or something interesting like that. For the project files, we just have the docker compose.redis commander.yaml, and that's all we have. And we don't have any other files that we would have to add. You might have added a custom command, for example, and you can add things in other directories, and you can even add global files. Global files would go in the global ddev directory, but we don't need any of those. So we'll just get rid of that right now. And we don't have any post-install actions in this particular case. So we don't need to do any of these things. So we'll just leave those out. And so there is that. And this should be almost usable at this point. Let's go back and just pick up a couple of the things that we need from the README. So if we go back over here to the Redis Commander README from ddev-contrib, we need to update this type of information. So we'll do that, and we'll go over to the Redis Commander README, and just so we don't forget all of these things. And we need to find a maintainer for this. So if you're interested in being a maintainer, maybe Greyloth will want to be the maintainer, I hope. It's always good. One thing that I have, that I know that all of you know more about all of these services when you use them on a daily basis than I do. So I prefer not to end up being the maintainer of something that I don't know as much about as I would like to know. So somebody that uses it every day will know when there's flaws and know how to improve it. But now that we have a repository for each of these with a maintainer paying attention and a place that you can do issues and pull requests, that should work better. So and we're just going to say Redis Commander. Redis Commander provides a web interface to a Redis service on ddev. And requirements, the Redis service must be available. See ddev-get thread ddev-redis. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And the configuration we don't have to do. There's nothing there. Installation is ddev-get thread ddev-redis commander. And ddev restart. Don't have to do those things. And then ddev describe will show you how to access the service. Okay. We don't need that. So there's our README is coming along. It'll need some more attention. But we should be already able to use this. So let's go ahead and try to use it. You can do a ddev-get of a directory. And so that's what we're going to do first. As you remember, we were in D9 simple, and it had nothing in it. No extra services, but we added Redis to it. And so now we're going to do a ddev-get. We want to get the ddev-redis commander. So we're just going to get that as a directory. So let's see what happens here. And it downloaded the Redis commander, and we probably have the Redis commander now in the .ddev directory. And now I should be able to do a ddev restart. and it's pulling the Docker image that we need to run. And it looks like it hasn't started up successfully, so we might have some debugging to do. I don't know why it's taking a long time. So I'm going to do a ddev list here, do a ddev describe, and it says it's doing fine. So I don't know why it was taking a long time. It looks like the router didn't come up. Well, the router's fine. So let's do a ddev describe here. And you see it gives us the actual URL for the Redis commander. So let's see if it works. And it does. It works right away. And there's the server, and there's the information, and we have everything we need. So we have basic functionality on this now. So it is, we still have some work to do. Let's go ahead and take a look and look at the tests, because we want to have a test. And I haven't thought very clearly about the tests. The tests that I've provided as examples are simple tests that use the BATS framework. You'll find them at batscore/batscore on GitHub. And it's all bash based, so it's pretty familiar to everybody. You can see it testing install from directory, and it's a very simple thing. So all this is doing, this example one here, is doing the get and a restart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to that something that checks to make sure that it's actually running. We'll do a ddev describe. We'll do a curl on the actual ddev Redis thing. But I'm not going to do that in front of you. I'll do that. I'm going to check that in, and you can take a look at it a little bit later. You see we're on the way here. We have this already doing the ddev Redis commander. So let's just take a look at our list of things that we would normally do. So we're at the point where we would put tests in, and we need to make the tests work. And then we would push it to GitHub, so we're going to do that right now. And then we're going to create a release on GitHub. And then we're going to test it with a ddev-get. And then we can actually make it so that it'll be listed. So let's go ahead and we'll just do that right quick. So I am going to go to the ddev Redis commander. And I'm going to push that. And we will go and make a release. We need a release for the ddev-get for the short version of the ddev-get to work. So we'll make a 0.0.1 initial release. And now that it's out there, I'm going to do something that I wouldn't normally do at the very beginning, and and I'm going to make it available to everybody so that it can be done the easy way. You see that the tests are already running. We haven't built any significant enough tests yet, but I'll put that in a little bit when I work on this. We've got a release, and so we can actually go here to the About, and we can add a topic, and we're going to add ddev-get as a topic. And again, I'm going to take that, I'll take that off in a few minutes because it's not quite ready yet, but I can now, if I go back to my D9 simple, I can actually do a ddev-get -- all, and it will show up there. So now we have the Redis commander in the list, and it is showing as official because it's in the DRUD namespace, and I'll take that off of there. It'll be official in a little bit. We'll get it all set up, and hopefully Greyloth will be willing to maintain it. But right now I can do a ddev-get, and just take this. I can just do a ddev-get of that, and it'll download it and install it. So it is set there. So that is basically the whole deal that we were trying to do. We did it almost from the start to the finish, except I cheated on the test, but you'll be able to look at those by the time this is released. So let's just review what we did. We'll go to the template again. Here's the README of the ddev add-on template. Basically, we use this template to create a new repository, and the repository can be in your personal namespace, can be public in your namespace, and then it can get promoted into the DRUD namespace when you're ready for that. So we chose a good name, ddev-. We created the repository. We updated the name, just replacing add-on template. We added the files that we needed. In this case, it was just one file. Then we updated the install.yaml. It was very simple because it only needed to add one file. And we did the project files directive. And then we haven't finished the tests yet. We pushed it up to GitHub, created a release on GitHub. We tested with ddev-get, and now I've got a little work to go on the README, and I already can see it with ddev-get -- all, and this will make it into the official maintained repositories pretty soon. So that was it. Thank you for listening. I hope you like ddev-get, and I hope it will lead us to a much more robust set of services that are maintained by people that use them every day. Thank you very much, and have a great day.